stopped at the table just now. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to learn how to make each table has a caption. All right. Yes. Now, for example, hold on. I have to present. Okay. Can you see the Words document now? All right. So in this document, all right, we already have the name of the table. We have table 1, key profile of focus group participants. Yeah. So the table, the name is already there, right? But what I want you to do is that, yes, you can manually key in the table 1, for example, table 1, table 2, but I want you to do that automatically. All right. It means that it's captured as a formatting. Yeah. So what you have to do is that you have at the end, at the top left table, you have this arrow. You click on that arrow and double click. Is it right click? Sorry. All right. Are you following now? Okay. So you don't have to actually block this, right? So you can just right click on that apa benda namanya ni ah. Okay. So go to insert caption. Okay. Go to insert caption. And you will go to this box for caption. All right. So caption, later you'll see that caption is one of the styles. All right. One of the styles. So what you want to do now is that you want to set the caption for the table. All right. So for example, here you have table 1. Okay. How is it? Because now you see that is actually a blue colored italic, right? Table 1. So what happened here is that when you have this, you can choose either you want it to be table, all right, or is it a figure, or is it an equation? For example, if you are writing, for example, yeah, if you are writing what you call a Malay paper, all right? So you can have, so you don't have table, you can have a new label, right? For example, you can put table apa ya? Jadual, right? So you can put jadual there. Right, so jadual. Okay, so you have the option. You want it to be jadual ke you want it to be table. You see that? So that the name or the label you can actually have it there. Yeah. So when you have table there, right, and then whether you want to put the position of the caption of the table, is it on top or at the bottom of the table? So how do you know whether it should be above or below? Then you have to refer back to your APA style. APA style kata kat mana? Table dekat on top. So you put that on top or above selected item. And how is it going to be formatted? All right. So let's choose, for example, okay here. Right. So now you have table 1 there. All right. So table 1, and then because I already have this, I just copy paste, Command C. I have to put that as here, Command V. Yeah. So you delete whatever this petrol station that you have here. You backstage. All right. So now you see that, okay, I have this table 1, but this table 1. So you see the difference here. Nampak tak? So the one that I formatted, it will be in grey color. All right. The one which is not formatted, dia tak ada color. All right. If I choose here, it just tak ada apa. But here is the formatted one. All right. Similarly, kalau you tengok kat sini, whenever you have formatted the numbering, it will always be in the grey color. So it means that if it's not grey, then it means that that is manually entered. Right? But if it's grey, then it's a formatted. So coming back to your table here, so you know that this one is the formatted one. So you just delete this one. Right? Okay. So, but you want this, all right, for example, this, actually, if you keep clear the style, all right, you can choose caption. Where's the caption? Here. You see? This is a style caption. You want to click that style caption, but the format of the caption, the default format for caption is like this. All right, it's table 1, key profile of focus group participant is blue colored and in that italic like that. All right, so I don't want it to be like that. So what I do is that I will modify, right? I will modify my style for my caption. As usual, I always want it to be black. Times New Roman, always 12. I don't want it to be I, but I'm not sure whether it should be bold or not. So let's see here. Table 1 is bold. All right, see, table 1 is bold, but the table title is not bold, right? But I'm not sure whether table 1 should be top and then you have number children there. I don't think so. I'm not sure. So you have to check that further. How to actually APA style, should it look like that? Anyone have the idea? Any idea on how the caption for the table should look like for APA style? Heading that describe the left column. All right. So just say that. But is that the format? I'm not sure. Anyone? Because this is the
Not sure because normally the table title
together
table,
kan?
yeah, table and then semicolon
Hmm.
and the title of the table.
Okay. So but I'm not sure because but this one I took it from the APA from the website APA. So that's why I'm checking table macam tu ke? I'm not sure, right? But please check further. But for this purpose, right? What I want to do is that let's make it bold, for example, right? And then okay. Right? So that's how you see it. Okay. So another way of doing it, for example, so we have table 1 here, right? So let's do that for table 2. Mana table 2? Okay, this one. Okay. So, okay, I close this one. So you see that this table, right, the format is Hawaii, right? Because why? Because just now we have not actually do the formatting for all the tables. So what you can do here is that you can try to do this, right? You select all that, try. I'm not sure whether it will work or not. So, you know this pin, right? This pin button. So you click that pin button one time, all right? And then you bring that and then try to pin, hold on, pin here, all right? Try, So I try that. What happens? See, the format follows. You see that? The format follows. What does not follow is, of course, the border lah. So that one you have to do manually. Right? So if you can do that, all right, you can actually this pin, if you have many tables that you want to apply the same format for the tables, what you can do is that you can double click here, right? So bila you double click, you can apply that more than one time. So let's say, for example, I have another table. So what I do is that I just pin to this table, right? So dia akan jadi single spacing, the format for the table that we made just now, right? And let's see, for example, this one more time, right? At least we don't have to do so many times of jadi apa? See? It looks better, isn't it? And for example, one more. This one is figure. I think, one more. Okay. Right?
Sorry, Doktor.
Yes.
Saya tertinggal yang table tu.
Okay. Masalah dia apa?
Macam mana nak
copy? Okay. What I do is now sekarang ni, this table, right? Sorry, underclock. This table is the one, the formatted yang kita nak single spacing, all that lah. Yang centered, all that.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So what I do is that I click this button. Can you see that? Button
Yes.
here. Okay. So I mean that I choose the whole table. So then I go to this paintbrush.
Okay.
Bila kita paintbrush ni, kita format. Kita copy format. Dia copy paste jugalah. Tapi it's not copy paste content, it's copy paste format. That's namanya copy formatting from one location to apply it to another. So the difference is that you can click one time. So bila click one time, maknanya you akan boleh copy and paste one time only. But you click double, you can use that several times. After you copy, then you paste, and then you boleh paste lagi. Yeah, so that's the difference lah. Contohnya, ada lagi tak table? Dah tak ada table, so tak boleh nak tunjuk kat you. Right? So assuming that mana tadi? let's say lah, alright, let's say, okay, this one I make it two, right? So dia akan jadi macam ni kan? So I want it to be sama format macam the earlier table. So what I do is that this for this table, I want to follow this, the format of this table. I click my paintbrush, alright, and then I will paste. Paste tu maknanya you kena buat macam ni. I do not know what you do lah, tapi macam you select kat situ lah. Alright, and then ada tertinggal lagi, so I just paint macam tu je. Click and then dia jadi. Alright,
Okay.
so dia kita panggil copy paste format lah.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
So that will save a lot of your time, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so now what you want to do now is that just now we are going to do, alright. So for this table, for example, of course you have to, what do? You have to correct the presentation of the table where you don't want to have any borders there, right? But this one also dia tak nak, alright? This one dia tak nak color, so you remove the color, no color, but you want it to be bottom border and top border, and similarly for the total, you want it to be top and bottom. Is that okay? So for every table, you have to follow that apa nama dia? Format. Yeah, APA format. Alright. But now table, I want to include what further? I want to include the insert caption. Alright, insert caption. So do for every table. So now you have table 2. Why you have table 2? Because tadi kita dah buat table 1. So dia automatically numbered. So you don't have to worry that, okay, my table, I suddenly insert new table that I have to redo all my table numbering. No, it's done automatically. So you don't have to worry about that. So if I were to click OK, all right. Assuming that, right? So if I were to click OK, then dia akan jadi OK lah, right? Dia akan jadi table 2, but there's no name lah. You can actually type the name dekat format tadi, right? Command V. Okay, so just make sure that this one is the caption format lah. Kenapa dia tak bold? Okay, kita tak pilih format tadi, kita tak pilih centered agaknya. Right, I want it to be centered. Modify again. So choose centered. Okay, alright. So just now we centered here, automatically table 1 pun will be centered. You get that? Okay, so what I want to show one more is that you have table 3, for example. Mana table? This one, right? So I don't want to amend the border. I just want to show you the difference that now you have caption. All right. All right. So you want to format the numbering of the table. So what happens is that in your thesis, all right, you will have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. All right. So for example, if you have a table in chapter 3, then you have you will have the caption of the table as table 3.1. So that refers to table in chapter 3, table number 1. All right. Then you have table 3.2. You have table 4.1. Right. So because why that table is in chapter 4. So how can you do that is that you go and format. Right? You format, and then the format of the table means that the numbering of the table, you can have different numbers, right? You can have A, B, C, for example, but normally we have the Arabic number 1, 2, 3 like that. Yeah, so I click 1, 2, 3 normal, but I want to include my chapter number. So in this case, all right, it will identify heading 1 as chapter. All right. So then, all right, then whenever I have heading 1, if the table is in that chapter, or then they will shows you accordingly. And then whether you want it, for example, after table 3.1, should it be a space only, or should be a hyphen or a colon? Again, goes back to your APA style, how it should appear. Are you following? So then you can format that. For example, I want it to be colon. So then I don't have to type, it will automatically shown in your table caption, right? So let's see that now what I did is that I have include chapter number and the chapter is based on heading 1. Remember tadi kita ada introduction as 1, literature 2. So all these will be heading 1 and this one will be your chapter lah, for example. Yeah, so you see that this table automatically bagi apa? Table 3. Alright, this one salah. I tak nak yang macam ni. Salah. Format tu, so dia bukan yang tu. Use separator tu untuk 3.3, 3.1. So bukan tu, kita nak full stop. Ya, kita nak 3.1, 3.2. Tapi yang after that, you kena buat manually. Okay, see what happened? Table 3.3. So that's why I can say that, for example, I can actually type my, for example, my ABC, the title of the table tu kat sini. But normally I don't do that. For example, I put table 3.3 ABC, so dia akan keluar table 3.3 ABC. But I can always remove that. I can put the name of the table separately lah. Command V. Right, so I will delete this. I know that this one is numbered. You see? So it's numbered automatically. So what happened to my earlier table? Let's see. Earlier table will become 3.2. The first table will become 3.1. See? So it will be automatically updated. Alright. So I have 3.1 here. Alright, and then I have 3.2 here. Let's say that, alright, and then I have 3.3 just now. So let's then that if I were to add in one more table here, alright, assuming that, okay, suddenly you want to add in one more table, insert, let's say, let's put just table there, alright. So I add in table, and then I add in caption, right? So then, okay here, right? This one can get 3.3, 3.2, 3.3, and the table just now that we did akan automatically change to 3.4. Right, because this is numbering is done automatically. So you don't have to worry about the numbering. Okay, so far so good on the table caption.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Okay, then you do the table caption for all the tables. Yeah, all right. So I suggest, because that's why I want you to learn early, so that as you do if you write your thesis or your proposal, all right, you can apply that immediately rather than you wait for the whole document to be ready, then only you want to format. It will take some time. Yeah. So what you do next is that ada satu lagi figure kan? This one is what we call figure lah. Kenapa figure jadi macam ni? Kalau figure, you cannot change the format of the figure, you know. Kenapa jadi macam ni? I pun tak sure. Buruk jadi kan? Tapi tak apa, it's okay. I just want to show you the caption, ya. So similarly for caption, alright, you right click, insert caption for figures, right? Similarly, whether the label should start with figure. Siapa yang tak mute tu?
Aku.
Alright, so instead of table, you click figure because you are actually looking at a figure. Ini kenapa submission kat sini? Itu kat mana tadi? Kat sini. Alright. Alright, below selected item. So not sure, again you have to refer back to APA style. Untuk figure, is the title of the figure, is it on top or above the figure, or is it below the figure? Let's choose is below the figure, yeah? So if below the figure, then you see that the format, for example, I think it's the same where you include chapter number, alright, and then you want it to be a full stop, right, to separate between your chapter and your numbering, all right, and then okay, then you can have okay, right? So because we choose it at the bottom, then you have it at the bottom here, all right? So I think what is the title of this? Tax related, performance ads, let's do it. Right, then you just paste it here. Why is it not? Sometimes you can keep on choosing this caption, right? Then dia akan jadi format caption lah, right? For example. But if you say that, okay, I don't want it to be at the bottom and you want it to be at the top, then you can always redo that. All right, insert caption. You click OK, but you don't want it to be below, you want it to be on top. Yeah, so figure 5.1, so I have it there. Okay, what I do is that I just copy this one, Command C, I delete this because I don't want it to be there, I want it to be here. Command V, so jadi tak? Okay, Command V, so I know that this one is the numbering, and then I put that as a caption again. It is already captioned. So, but the problem is that the figure is too big. So let's make it smaller. Hopefully it goes up to the earlier page. Tak juga. Oh. Ain. Siapa pula tu? Hold on, I need to. Okay, so why is it ni? Okay, this one is again what you can do for your caption. All right, because you don't want your title of the table or the figure is on the separate page, right? So what you do, you go to modify, and then format, paragraph, but that's why you go to line and space, page break. You keep lines together, keep with nets, right? So these two things, all right, will help you hopefully that it comes tadi. See, dia akan together with the this one kena buang. So whenever you see that petrol station, all right, delete. Okay, this one kenapa jadi macam ni? Tak cantik. Okay, so this one is the formatting of the figure itself lah. All right. So you have table and you already have your figures here. Is that clear? So this one you delete. What else? Okay, so if you were to see your panel, view, navigation pane, it will appear on this side. Yeah, so your navigation pane is all there. You can actually format this if you want. What you want to see is including the table and figures. You can actually have it here, but that one is another level of formatting lah. Okay, all right. The next one is that, okay, let's see. We have done this table APA style. Is there any question for the table? Right, it should not, remember APA style, it doesn't appear like this. It should appear like which one? Scene 3.2. Mana dia? Alright, not like this. But, dia tak buat. Banyak sangat table. Kat mana research participant kot. Yeah, so it should be like this. Okay, what you see here is that, alright, always make sure that your table does not break into 2 pages. Right? Make sure that your table does not break into 2 pages. If you have long table, then you just in this case you tak boleh buat yang macam I tunjuk tadi. Right? So what you have to do is that you have to page break there. Right? So you bring your table to the next page. It is okay to have it here, a bit empty space here. Why? Because you have table in the next page. Yeah, table in the next page. So do not have your table break into 2 pages. All right. If you have that, then you bring the whole table into new page. Is that clear? All right. So for example, you have this table, right? Similarly lah. All right, you have to command enter lah. Right, so this one nak buang tadi kan? Okay, you just enter. All right, what do you do? Page break, control enter. Yeah, kalau it's in Windows, it's control enter. Kalau MacBook, it's command enter. So that's how you get a page break. Okay. All right. What else? Any question? We have only 30 minutes left. All right, so let's see, we have done this table for APA style, and then insert caption, we have done that. Layout, all right, layout here. Okay, let's look at layout. So where is layout? So what happened is that, okay, this one pun you kena banyak buat. Okay, this one, okay, layout. So what happened is layout is that you see here layout. I want to look at number one is the text direction to normally we don't, because we always read from left to right, right? So kalau Chinese, of course, I think it's like that. So, but in this case, we don't have to do adjustment unless on a certain page, for example, you do need that text direction from top to bottom, so you choose that one. But in this case, for example, you see that how it looks like. What is you think that something is wrong with the margin of this? Yeah, because in your thesis you do have the format for your left margin and your right margin. All right, so this is when you make use of this margin. All right, so you have to check with it with your PG, for example, what is the required margin. So if you have to change the margin according to the requirement, right, then you go to the custom margin. Or if it's not a thesis, for example, it could be a normal. So maybe you just want to have for example, this one normal dah pun, right? So dia macam, I don't know, I nampak this one is better, right? So you see that. But if we were to margin, for example, kalau white jadi apa? Dia akan jadi macam saya Ctrl Z. Anything Ctrl Z. Okay, undo Ctrl Z or Command Z. So let's do margin. Let's say that custom margin, right? When you go for custom margin, then you have to set lah how you want it to be. All right. Normally, all right, for a thesis, the left margin is wider. Right? Why? Because you have to do binding for your thesis. So when you open the thesis, all right, you have to consider the margin. Yeah. But again, it goes back to the format required by the CPS, for example. So let's do, for example, the left margin. I increase the left margin to 3, for example. And the right margin, I reduce because I want it to be, or reduce ke increase. Right, let's make it 3 also. See what's the difference, ya. Tapi kalau 3 tak nampak beza, I make it 3.5 lah. Tak apa, yang ni 3, for example. Alright, left and right only, ya. I tak tukar dah top and bottom. So it goes, so you have to refer back to the CPS punya requirement. How is it? So if you know the requirement, then you can change it here lah. Alright, so left, I make it 5, for example. I just want to make it very obvious lah. Alright, 4 pun cukup lah. Okay, so you see that from the existing one, so you see that, nampak, dia dah indent to the right, of course, and to the left. Yeah, so that looks more like a thesis, isn't it? But what happened to the table? Then you have to manually lah. Sebab you dah buat table before you arrange for the margin. So you just have this one kat top, kat atas ni, you just bring it inside. Right, and then normally, it has to be aligned, right? So table ni, kalau you tengok layout table, you can choose this one. Auto fit table, auto fit to Windows. So dia akan ikut you punya margin. Alright, tak adalah table kat sini small, table number 2 is larger. So you have a consistent table size. So you always put auto fit. Alright, this one under layout, ya, layout of the table, auto fit, you choose auto fit to Windows. Kalau you choose auto fit to content, you tengok jadi apa? Dia tak cantik. Alright, so I normally go for auto fit to Windows. Right, auto fit to Windows, then in this case tak nampak beza sangat lah, but it's okay, ya. Okay, that is for the where we layout untuk margin. Yeah, so you check again what is the margin required for your thesis. Okay, now layout untuk, yes.
Sorry for interrupt. I want to ask, is there any difference the measurement between the computer because my laptop I think in inch.
Okay,
Okay,
you boleh tukar. You boleh tukar benda tu.
Huh?
Dah dekat pukul 9 macam mana ni? Okay, sabar sabar. Sekejap I tunjuk you. Your computer tu, you yang decide. You buat macam ni, Word. You buat dekat you punya Word punya setting. Try I'm not sure. It should be somewhere here. Bukan, salah. Ni setting apa ni? Setting, ni. Setting for general. Alright, and then you go lah, you punya measurement ni, nampak ni? Setting, show measurement in centimeter ke 9 inches. Nampak? So you change that. Then okay lah. Tapi katalah macam the format given by CPS is 8 inches, then you tukar lah the measurement into inches. So it's easier for you to follow the measurement.
Alright.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you, madam.
So this one is the setting for your ni lah, right? For your words. So this one pun very useful because you use the words most of the time, right? So if you can actually make it work more effectively for you, right? Then get the knowledge, right? Look for Google punya YouTube ke apa so that you can learn, right? So okay, then what I want to do next is that, where were we? Okay, orientation, yeah. So orientation, there are two types of orientation. One is the portrait, macam biasa, and the other one is the landscape. Alright. In your thesis, sometimes you do need to have a landscape page. Right. So for example here, right, I purposely put in a figure that, or you may have a table, alright, which is very wide, or you could have a figure that is wide. Apa sah hang? Okay, alright. So for example here, I have this. Okay, this one macam ni kan? What you do? You should do. Sebab benda ni dah lari dah tadi sebab kita dah tukar dia punya. So what you should do here kat sini, for table yang dah lari alignment ni, what you do is that you just go to layout and then you pilih auto fit to window. Nampak? Automatically done. Okay, alright. So what I want to show you is that, mana dia tadi?
Madam?
Alright, Dr. Khadijah's batteries is out. So we have to wait for her, okay, to recharge the battery.
Oh, okay, Doctor.
All right. I'm sorry because we are too busy talking to you. I didn't manage to charge my laptop, and then suddenly it go off like that. Okay.
It's okay, madam.
All right. Coming back. All right. So I want to go to there's one figure that is all right. That is yeah. So when you want to submit your paper, your thesis, for example, all right, this one should be horizontal lah, right? It should be on a landscape mode. So how can you do a landscape mode in a portrait?
Share your document.
Alamak.
Present.
Okay. Coming back.
Everything is closed, right? You have to open it, right?
Okay, can you see my document now?
All right.
All right. So this is on page 23, yeah, where I have this. So it should be on a landscape, right? So how can I arrange that to be on a landscape? So then, all right, I have to use, because all these are portrait. So rather than having a page break here, right? So I want it to be on a different page on a landscape mode. So what I have to do is that on here, right, on this page, I go to my layout. I will go this slowly, yeah. I go to my layout and then I will have to create a break, right? So what I need to do now is not a page break. So there are two types of breaks. One is a page break. The other one is a section breaks, right? So what I want to do now is a section break. So I'm going to click next page. So what it means is that the document will be break into two sections. Yeah, because the following section, right? Now you see that if you put on the petrol station, you see that it says that there ada kan place section break kat sini. Kenapa tak nampak pula benda tu? Yeah. So this is a section break. So I have these like this. Right? So I don't want here section break. Okay, I delete that. So what happened is that here now I want it to be on a landscape mode. So now only I can put it like that. Mana gambar? Oh, dia tak jadi. Hold on ya. Untuk bagi nampak sikit. Is this on landscape or not? See? This one is Command X. Now I put it like Command V. Kenapa dia jadi macam tu? Because the table, let's rotate the table. Rotate. Size and position. Is it? Ada tak rotate? You see rotate? Mana rotate lah? Position. Not size. Why is it like that? Log aspect ratio? No. Rotate. Rotate. This one.
Picture two.
Rotate. It should be 180 lah. Right? Okay. Try. Tak jadi. Rotate. Tak ada rotate ni.
Madam, there's a rotate dekat layout atas tu.
Mana? Layout.
Kanan.
Kanan. Oh ni rotate. Is it?
Yeah.
Rotate left by 90, is it? Okay. So this one I nak delete. Okay. So you see that, right? Nampak? This one is the, ini kenapa je macam ni? Sekejap. Tak boleh, mata sakit. Layout, feed, auto feed to Windows, right? So you see that this one akan ada section break there. You see that? Soalnya ada tulis section break kat sini. Are you actually doing that together with me or you just watch?
Doing.
Just watch.
Doing together.
Absorbing the knowledge.
Doing together.
Now is landscape. Here is portrait and here is landscape. But the problem here is that the following page is also a landscape. So you're not supposed to submit to your examiner in this form, kan? So what you should do then means that you only want a break that one page only break, and then the following page I can go back to portrait, yeah, layout. So what you have to do, you have to create another section because you want to break the section. You want to portrait, landscape, portrait. So you have sections there. So that's how you want to add in one more layout. You do a break again, and then you do a next page section break. All right. Then only you have orientation, go back to portrait. So that's how you see your naik macam tu kan. So now you see that, okay, your paper is portrait, landscape, and portrait. You get me? So how you want to do that? Because you have to key in, or you have to insert in break. Instead of a page break, you want to insert section break. All right, then you have your orientation landscape. Then you put back your section break and goes back to your portrait orientation. All right, siapa follow?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So let's do this. All right, I put again insert caption, and this is a figure. So automatically, because this one is in section 5. Section 5 tadi ada figure eh? Okay, because it's under finding code. Right, view, navigation. Kenapa view dia macam tu? Then you have, so you kena betulkan sikit lah figure you tu. Tak boleh lebar sangat, so that the figure tu together here lah. Right, so this one is home. You akan letak dia punya title of the figure, and then caption will be in the middle lah. Right, so I'm not sure whether you should do this or not. Depends lah, table tu macam mana, whether sometimes bila figure ni, bila you do adjustment, then akan affect the punya quality of the image. Alright, so it depends again. You have to be very creative lah how to do that. Alright, so we have done that on the layout. We have done the margin. We are looking into the orientation. Alright, column ni normally when you do paper submission ke, dia akan buat columns lah. Alright, so if you follow all this so good, alright, you're doing so well so far. So you can just apply whatever there, and then you just follow. Yeah. Okay. So we have done breaks for section break. So remember that just now I mentioned that in my thesis where I have, is it my thesis? Yeah. Where I have the first part, all right, is I have the numbering is in this form, and the second part, when starting from chapter 1, my numbering is using the Arabic. So that's how I use section break as well. So you see that here. Mana kalau tak tekan benda ni tak nampak, right? Mana ni section break? Tak nampak. Kenapa tak nampak? There must be a section break here, right? Okay, so let's do that in our document. All right, so I think that layout I have covered, and then okay, reference. So what do you mean by reference? It means that now you have finished all your documents. You want to have the first page or the first part of your thesis, table of content, which is done automatically rather than being manually, right? Don't do manual table of content, yeah? Because the page number will keep on changing. So you don't want to waste your time doing that manually. And then you know that you have a lot of tables, so you also want list of table, and you also want to have list of figures. So how are you going to do that? Let's go into your reference, right? So this is your formatted. So what I want to do now is that, all right, let's go to the top, introduction. So normally, all right, this is your title, right? And then for your thesis, you already have the format. For example, here, right, I put a command enter because I have to have one page here, right? Just for the table of content. So what you do now is that, because in order for you to have table of content which is automatically done for you, you must do the formatting of the headings, everything correctly. Yeah. So now what you do is that you go to references, right? Then you just add your table of content, right? So you click table of content. They will give you some suggestion, all right? For example, you have the classic style, the contemporary, or the formal one, or the modern one, right? You can just choose any one of these, and then you can modify later. See, I'm the master of modifying. I do not know everything. I have to modify. I never be satisfied with whatever is given there, right? So here is it, right? So do you want it to be like this? It looks very weird, isn't it? So what you do is that you can always mana tadi? Right? So here, rather than you go to table of content, just now you choose table of content, this one, right? You can also choose the second one or third one, whatever. But what I want to do now is that I want to custom my table of content. All right? Custom here means modify lah. All right, so I click custom table of content. Now, all right, it will appear as what I want it to be. All right, from the template is like this, or I can choose the classic method or the distinctive method, whatever lah. So I just go from template. So now, all right, I want to modify. Okay, show level here, it shows you means that it shows you 3 levels, mean that it will show you heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. So for your thesis, all right, you're going to have heading 4 as well. Why? Because in your thesis, let me show you. Sekejap. Right, tak apa. Nanti I cakap pasal tu. Alright, I want to modify my heading 1. Heading 1 here, I want to modify because I don't want it to be italic. You know, I don't like italics. So I don't want italic. It could be track. It has to be bold, and then of course Times New Roman. All right, I will just go for Times New Roman. And then what else? Oh, paragraphing also. I have to check paragraphing. How does it look like? So the indent and spacing, it has to be. No, I don't want it. I want it to be none. And then before and after is 6. I don't want it double. It's just a single. Is that all? Yes, I think so. All right, so let's okay. All right, so that is for table. TOC refers to your table of content for your heading level 1. All right, and then I go to level 2. Okay, I modify because why? Again, I don't want it to be Calibri. I want it to be Times New Roman, and it has to be 12 font, 12. And then, all right, it may be, right, I may want it to be a bit indented, all right? Or I can have it, this one is letak before tu dah memang, when you have before tag 0.42 means that it's already indented a bit, all right? You can have it, all right? So in that case, I don't have to. It's just that here, first line. Kalau I buat 9 jadi apa? Okay je, right? 0.42. So what happened is that, if you want it hanging, right? Later we'll see if the, okay, never mind. Hanging. Okay. Apa maksud dia? Macam mana nak tunjuk kat you nanti? Sometimes, alright, the title of the heading is 2 lines. Right? So you have a very long title, right? That's why, alright, when you want to write, all right, the heading, subheading, it already must be in your mind, right? It has to be very concise title, right? You don't want it to be too long title. No, all right? So you don't want that. So your title should be, but if the title has to be 2 lines, then you may want to choose hanging. Yeah, hanging means that indented and the second line is also indented. Yeah, so dia akan jadi sama. Kalau you buat first line, dia akan first line and second line is like this, right? But kalau hanging, dia akan macam ni. But kalau none, both akan like this, right? I hope that you understand what I'm saying. So if you don't, later we look into that, okay? And then we also have level 3 also need to be amended, whereby currently is 10 point. I don't want 10 point. It has to be 12, all right? So be consistent je, all right? In your thesis, consistency is very important. That's why sometimes we say that our academic is boring because why? We are very consistent, right? What's wrong with being consistent? It's good, right? None, right? So because I think that this one dia akan buat indented like that. Okay, tapi never mind. We look at how it will appear, right? You can have 0, 0, but we'll see how if you have some space there. Okay, now, okay. So let's see how your table of content will appear. See, they can replace the existing table of content. Yes, you want it to be like that. Okay, now you see how it looks like. It looks more beautiful. Isn't it? So this one, you don't have to do it. All right. So this is how it will appear. So what I mean that is that if so now remember when you do TOC, you can have it indented, right? So you can change that indented to the right, right? So you change that. For example, yeah. Dia orang pergi beli. Dia orang keluar jap. Alright, again, I just want to show you how the changes, yeah. I go to custom table. Look at 3.1 dengan 3.11 there. You see the difference if I change the paragraphing.
Madam,
Yes,
can I ask you a question?
yes.
For example, I want at the introduction, I want the first one only is capital, the other one is little. So how could I make like that?
Okay. The introduction, capital, and then again?
For example, chapter 1, capital at the first one. After that, introduction, literature review as a small one.
Okay, let's see there. Let's see. Let's bring up. You want modify. Okay, let's modify that. Let's see. Let's try. TOC, you want TOC, for example, the font need to be, currently it's, why is it now is capital? Because your heading, right, is written as capital letter, right? But if remember, in your write-up, your introduction 1.0 is written as a capital letter. All right, but what I'm doing now is that I format my table of content that the introduction, all right, I put it as a small cap. So let's see what happened, yeah. And then I also want to change, remember just now the TOC3, I want it to be indented a bit to the right. So I go to the paragraph for TOC3, paragraph, I want it to be before. So this one has to go further in. So bigger number. So it will be indented further in, yeah. So let's say 1.2, okay. So we do two changes just now, the font and the spacing. Okay. All right, so you replace one now. See what happened? All right, the introduction does not change, right? Because the what is written in the document is using capital, so it doesn't reflect here, yeah. And then the second one is that we change the indentation of the TOC3, so that's why you see TOC3 goes further in, right? But if you do not want it to be like that, you can always have everything zero. So it depends on how the format required you to do. Yeah. So Anas, was it you who asked me just now?
Yes, madam, I understand. Thank you.
But I think because what is written is like that, so it also appears like that. I think so, yeah. Right. The second one is that I want to show you how to put a, normally it's a, I show it here, right? List of table, right? So how, just now we have many tables, right? So we have to include list of table juga lah. So it's the same under references, but for table of content, we go here, the first one, table of content. But if you want list of table, you have to go here, insert table of figures. Can you remember that? Insert table of figures. So you click this, and then what you want to have, you want the table. So you go to table, then it shows you table 1, table 2, table 3, all right? So what is included is label numbers, page number, and align page number to the right. You select instead of page number, all right? So the tab leader means that dot, 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 you have page number like that, okay? So you can have it now. right? Then you have all that table. But why is it indented to the right? So you have to go back lah dia punya table tadi. Right, you have to modify lah. It's not table, right? So you have to modify. I don't know how. Is it memang indented? Dia macam justify. Contohnya paragraph. First line. Everything is, see, kalau you first line dia memang akan automatically dia indented to the right. Right, so I just put none. Okay. It's double, I don't want double, I just make it single. So 6 and 6, okay. Right. So let's see what the changes. Okay. Okay. All right, replace. Yes. See? Now it becomes like that. Because why? Just now tadi dia ada hanging. Alright, or first line indented. So that's why just now is indented to the right. So now it's already, everything is on the left. So similarly, you do for your list of figures. So you don't have to write everything. So you just insert table of figure. Apa benda? Nak buat apa? Tak payah, Mama dah beli tanda. Okay, so you want figure? Okay. So figure is there. Right? So if it's in your TC, so make sure that you have this on a separate page. So you command enter. And then here is also you command enter. Okay. Is that clear? Do I have time? No, it's 9 o'clock already. I just want to have one more to show you how to make this Roman number. Can you bear with me?
Yes. That's the last part, right?
Yes. But benda ni, this one is not in the slide. Because I tak plan benda tu. Ni dah habis, manage your reference lah. Tapi sebab I rasa I should show you how to have that reference ni. Okay, assuming that this is the last page of your first part of the thesis, right? All your preface, your time what do you have? Your table of content, list of figure, abbreviation, everything. So at the end, you create this layout, all right? Create a section break, all right? Then you break that section. Okay, so you see that you are going to have two sections here, right? So I have created section break here. So this is the first section and this is the second section. So I don't have to have this, right? Second section. So what I want to do now is that this number, I just click here, I put to format page number. All right, format page number. I want it to appear as Roman number. So I click Roman. I don't want to include chapter number. So continue from previous section. No, start at 1. Okay, right? So now you see, kenapa dia start kat sini? Is it here? Because this is the first page, right? So this is the first page. So it start with Roman number 1. So if I do not want first page to have a number, so I click different first page. Can you see this? Different first page, then the first page will have no number. The second page will have number 2 here. Right? And then you have list of table, number 3 Roman, and list of figure, number 4 Roman. What about in my introduction here? I want it to be, all right, this one I can format balik. I format because now what is the second section tau. Second section, page number, format page number, 1, 2, 3, all right, and then you start at 1. Okay. So you nampak tak? Kat sini is Roman number because that is the section 1. Section 2 starts with Arabic number. Number 1, number 2 onwards lah. Okay? So that's how you do section in your documents. Right? And that section will help you to have a better numbering lah. Alright, for your pieces. Okay. So that would be the last. Alright, even though it's not there, I baru teringat nak masukkan. But then, all right, remember that when you do your thesis, make sure that you do have your reference management. For example, you may use your Mendeley, or you may want to use your EndNote, for example. In my case, I'm using EndNote. So for those who are using EndNote, you can always refer to my video on managing your reference using EndNote, all right, in that link, all right. But if you are using Mendeley, I cannot help you. Yeah. Yeah, and that's it for today. Any question?
No, madam.
Okay.
No question.
All right. So I think
We will see again your video. Okay,
watch again,
to
yeah?
study back. Watch again your video.
Yeah, because normally, of course, this one needs a lot of practice. All right, because I've been using this for years. I've been doing this for years, so maybe for me it's very easy, but not for everybody. So, but I think that for all academics, for example, in your case as well, students, postgraduate students, all right, you need to learn this, you need to practice this, so that it will help you a lot in your write-up of your thesis. All right, you're talking about. Yes, Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation. I have a question.
Yes. Your name, please.
I'm Jibril Babazaki.
Oh, Jibril.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I go ahead with my question?
Yes.
Okay. When you want to combine landscape and portrait together,
oh, when?
Immediately you put you insert page break.
No, not page break, section break.
Okay, section break. Yeah, you see the first page drop and that page remain empty. How do you do to adjust it so that it's automatically join?
That's why you have to do section break next page.
Okay, not a page break.
Section break next page. Then it will be in the following page. You can have it in the same page, but you just, it depends whether you want it on the next page or in the same page. But if you want it to have a break, normally it's the next page.
Then after the page, you know, automatically it starts from the page you choose. Every other thing become landscape. You have to go back again and then do continue from so that.
Yeah, you have to go back. You have to insert section break again and then choose portrait.
Thank you.
Next question. No. All right. Yes. Yeah, I hope that if you have any issues, you can always contact me, or you can also review or relook into the video that will be posted in the YouTube later. All right, I will give you the link. Dr. Maslina, can you get the link to the recorded session? All right, I hope that every one of you, all right, we learn, if not much, but a bit, all right, on this Microsoft Word, and it is very important for you to master the skill, all right, because as an academy, all right, Microsoft Word is your best buddy. Yeah. Even if you're working later, you will still use Microsoft Word most of the time. Yeah. So, but there are a lot more that you can learn on Microsoft. Yeah. So keep on learning new things. All right. Keep on having the attitude of going for courses, for training, or even now you have many YouTube. Yeah. So you can just search in the YouTube how to do this and how to do that, and it gives you a lot of options for you to learn. Yeah, there's no excuse, right, not to know, right? But whatever I give you today, maybe as an opener, maybe as awareness, and you can do more, right, on your own. You can learn a lot more. Maybe I may not have covered everything, but the main things I think that is already there. Yeah. So it's already 10 plus 9. So if you don't have any more question, I would love you to please sign the, what do you call that, attendance form in your Google Classroom, or maybe can paste it here. Can we have paste it here link? Let me check, yeah. The link. Copy link address. Mana Jimmy? Right. Please, is it there? Right, attendance is given there. So please fill up the attendance form because we have about 20 students or 20 participants here. I would like to hear your feedback on this course, and I pass back this session to Dr. Maslina.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Khadijah, for a very wonderful session. I myself learned a lot from the session. I remember learning about this long time ago, but because of I did not practice, so I forgot everything. So it's a refresher for me also. It seems like most of you here. Okay, so hopefully you will use all this knowledge when you prepare your research proposal, especially for
That's the first step,
contemporary
research proposal.
Yeah, you need to submit the proposal at the end of the semester, right? So make sure
Submit
you apply
online
all those
so that you can check if they actually apply the knowledge.
Inshallah. Okay, if there is no more question, right? I think we can close the session today. Okay, please don't forget to fill up the attendance, Google form attendance, okay, before you go. So let's close the session with Surah Wal-As and Tasbih.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Thank you.